Outside of Moose Jaw, 1927. Our father was one of those young men who had always had a motorcycle or a car. And so there were lots of people, neighbors, who did not have that kind of locomotion, and his father still used a horse and buggy with Topsy, the mare. But Dad always had a car. And my sister and I couldn't even think about playing hooky, although we'd never heard that word, because our father and mother watched us go to school and come home every day. And they made lunch for us so that they didn't have to put up with us at lunchtime. So we were away all day. Bananas, if they were able to afford them. We had no money except from the cream check. And the banana was a real treat. And I'll never know how my mother managed it with 2 children, my sister and I. But we always had an orange in our lunch. And we always enjoyed that at school, at recess. I don't know how she managed that. We never threw anything away. I still can hardly bear to throw anything away. And we reused everything. My mother even kept the bags that brown sugar comes in. They weren't plastic in those days. I can't remember how they came. And then at Christmas, when she baked Christmas cakes, she wrapped them in these sugary bags, sugary wrappings. We kept everything. My mother did a lot of, we called it canning, but it was bottling. And yes, but there wasn't much to put in bottles because Saskatoons were the biggest treat. And they nearly always froze about, you only got a crop of Saskatoons about once every 5 years because they flower so early. And the late frost would damage the blossoms. So then you had to have choke cherries, which never got frozen. Grew all the root vegetables, and we kept them all in a dugout basement. So we always had, we called them turnips, yellow ones and white ones, and now I know they're rutabagas. Weren't very fond of them then, but now I just think they're wonderful. And our own potatoes, netted gems, were my father's favorite. You can't find them anymore. There were no taps. And where we lived, there was never a well close to us. So we had a mare. I would drive her down to the well. Dad always had to dig a new well if we moved and the water must have been very close to the top on the prairies, but it always had to be away from the house, at least a mile, And so you drive down with a stone boat, which is just a thing that you pick stones on, there's no wheels or anything, it just drags on the ground, and bring this big tank of water up to the house, and that's what we used. So it was very precious, and of course the cattle all needed, but they had to go drink their own down by the well. And why you don't see them nowadays, I don't know, is a wind charger. And I don't know, Mom and Dad must have been very careful with that cream check money because he was able to buy a wind charger. But I can remember him carving the propeller. Imagine carving it and sanding it and